So let me get this straight. The Strait of Hormuz is closed again. People are trying to pass. They're still firing on ships. Trump is telling us one thing. MAGA supporters is hoping for another thing. They're believing this, but what really is the truth and the secret behind the opening and closing, and who are the biggest winners? Well, at the end of this video, I got something to share with you. There were really, really big winners with the announcement of the Strait opening. And we're going to get to who it is, and it might not be the people you think will win, especially not the regular American. So please forgive me of the background. I am traveling, but let's just go ahead and jump into these clips.
I just spoke with President Trump for about 20 minutes, and he told me if Iran does not sign this deal, the whole country is getting blown up. He went on to say that bridges and power plants will be targeted if Iran does not sign this agreement. The president telling me that U.S. Special Envoys Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are heading to Islamabad, Pakistan for meetings on Tuesday, possibly into Wednesday, to try and get this agreement across the finish line. The president telling Fox News this is a very simple deal, but this is the last chance for the Iranians. The president very clear in our conversation that he is not making the same mistake that President Obama made, giving cash to the Iranians and allowing them to continue a nuclear program. The deal on the table is to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to ensure that the Iranians do not have this highly enriched uranium that is buried deep underground after Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. And again, the president telling Fox News that the entire country will be blown up. Bridges and power plants will be targeted if the Iranians do not sign this agreement.
This is crazy because, man, not only that, this was the same guy that was promoting or happy for Iranians that were freed. He was promoting, hey, I am glad they are free of a horrible and evil leader. This is the same guy now that is threatening to blow up the bridges and everything else, the infrastructure and everything else, to people, probably innocent people that didn't have anything to do with, probably innocent people that actually hope for something like this to come along, but not at this level and not this bad. This is terrible. But the straits being closed just adds fuel to the fire. Fuel to the fire. It really does. So check this out, as a ship that was trying to pass really didn't have it too easy.
Sepa Navy, this is Motorangastan Marheader. You gave me clearance to go. My name second on your list. You gave me clearance to go. You are fighting now. Let me turn back.
Let me turn back. This guy said, please just let me turn back. A regular guy trapped, trying to do his job to get through. And all he's asking for is a little bit of mercy. He thought he was good to go. So what really is going on in the Strait? They're not really showing us a lot of stuff on the news.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. That's how President Donald Trump is framing his approach to Iran, just as a new set of talks is set to begin. He said that the U.S. is offering a very fair and reasonable deal. In a Sunday morning Truth Social post, Trump once again threatened Iran's energy infrastructure, saying that he could target every single power plant and every single bridge. Now, when it comes to this new round of talks, Trump originally said that his vice president, J.D. Vance, who led the first round, would not be attending due to security reasons.
The Iranians already told him that if he targeted these power plants, it can cause a fallout. It can cause a fallout where it will affect neighboring countries as well. So another thing to be wary of.
With breaking news of rising tensions in the Middle East, the U.S. and Iran are not backing down on their demands, and time is running out. We are less than 3 days from the ceasefire ending between the two nations. The closure of Hormuz Strait now pushing past 24 hours. At least 2 ships attempting to pass through the strait overnight came under fire. The president is monitoring events from the White House this morning. And our News Nation's Robert Sherman, well, he's live in Tel Aviv for us this morning. Good morning from New York, Robert. The U.S. is pushing back on Iran's efforts to close the strait. I understand this will involve the U.S. military. Tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a point of emphasis here, Hannah, from American armed forces that they will not be pushed around and not deterred by the latest upping of pressure that we've seen from Iran. After the Strait of Hormuz was supposed to be reopened, according to the foreign minister, they now say it is closed. And the Americans say, well, if that's the case, they're prepared to begin boarding Iranian-linked ships in and around the Strait of Hormuz as well. Another economic pressure mechanism being applied by the United States. As the Strait of Hormuz, you see the bottleneck that is there right now with all those cargo ships. Well, the waters there have become treacherous once again this weekend. 3 separate incidents reported by the British Maritime Trade Operations Center. 2 of them are cargo ships that have been confirmed attacked. One of them, a suspicious splash near a cruise ship that was in and around the Strait of Hormuz as well. This is the central issue here, Hennes, is that Iran has threatened to carry out attacks on any ships that transit the Strait of Hormuz without the direct blessing of Iran. And at this juncture, they say no ships are allowed to go through. But President Trump says the United States will not bow to this pressure from Tehran.
They wanted to close up the strait again, as they've been doing for years, and they can't blackmail us. We're talking to them, and, we're taking a tough stand.
The president has left a bit of mystery as to what exactly will happen when the ceasefire expires in just a matter of days. He says maybe it will be extended, maybe it won't be extended, maybe there will be a deal before then. Certainly ambiguity here, but he's left options on the...
I just don't see the proof is in the pudding. These guys are not backing down. These guys are still not letting people pass. Y'all said there was a ceasefire. That didn't exist. So what is really the truth? Was there really a ceasefire? Was it for 2 weeks? Was it for 10 days? Was it for 9 days? Was it for people to make money on? All right. The big wigs around the world had to relieve a little bit of pressure. They had to make something come up. Something happened, because I feel like this isn't all the way the truth. No one's playing fair in this situation, okay? But again, like I talked about, there's some big winners that we're going to talk about at the end of the video. Let's just keep watching.
If you don't have a deal by Wednesday when the ceasefire ends, will you extend the ceasefire, or will
I
you
don't know.
start
Maybe
attacks
not.
again?
Maybe I won't extend it.
Okay.
But the blockade is going to remain. But maybe I won't extend it. So you have a blockade. And unfortunately, we'll have to start dropping bombs again. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. I think it's going to happen.
What about the UFOs, Mr. President?
It's crazy. He says that and I still don't see anything coming from Israel, who actually started this war. I feel like now, for some reason, it's all us.
Iran has agreed to never close the Strait of Hormuz ever again. Whose president is doing that? Who? Not Byron.
So, quick question. Do the Iranians know that they promised that? Because not even 24 hours after Trump said that the Strait of Hormuz was permanently open again, it was shut down once again. Why? Because of the United States' posture towards the Strait of Hormuz. But you've been conditioned to believe anything that comes out of a certain person's mouth, even though he first said that the Strait of Hormuz had to reopen immediately. Then he said it was a good thing that it wasn't opened because of all of the tankers that were coming to the United States to purchase oil. And now he's saying that the Iranian agreed to open it permanently and without conditions. You think
Permanently without conditions, my ass. That boy said it was open again, and not only that, not did it close, permanently open. That's a big statement. That's a big statement. It's not permanently open. It's closed. Tankers are getting fired on. People are risking their lives to supply energy to around the world. Remember, this strait supplies 20 to 30% of fuel around the world. That's the world supply that's coming out of the strait. And that's the reason why we still have these tough gas prices here in America.
The president said this morning that the Strait of Hormuz will remain open and always open for business. A few hours later, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz and said that we do not follow the orders of some idiots.
But there you go, boasting that you're doing these things and pissing people off. So guess what they did? They went back and closed it down again.
Donald Trump was bragging yesterday how the Strait of Hormuz is open. MAGA was all boasting about it. Hey, look, Trump got it done. But guess what happened today? The strait is now closed. What do you got to say now, MAGA?
MAGA is probably pissed because they still got to pay these prices at the pump. I can tell you that. But without further ado, I didn't want to hold off too long, but let's just get into the big winners. The big winners. There was 2 times where we talked about the strait opening and this and that, but there's a lot of people who made a lot of money right before they announced the Strait open. Let's go ahead and take a look.
How is this even fair? An unnamed trader just placed a $52 million short on oil right before the peace agreement. Unnamed my ass. I know it's you, Baron. And this person, supposedly unnamed, made $174 million. Come out, Baron. I know it's you.
Insane. I know there was big creepy people behind this. I don't want to say big creepy. I know there were people creeping behind the scenes waiting for some insider information. This is too clear. And this is not what they're talking. They don't talk about this. Somebody's doing this behind the scenes because they have insider information, but the news isn't talking about it. Other people aren't really covering it. Come on now. Why?
This is proof right here that this whole entire war is all political theater. So yesterday at 8:24 a.m., oil traders bought nearly $800 million worth of oil shorts. And then just 21 minutes later, the Strait of Hormuz was declared completely open by the Iran foreign minister. And then half an hour after it being declared open, oil prices crashed to $83 a barrel, being down 12% in less than 15 minutes. These same oil shorts made nearly $70 million in profits in less than an hour. So it's clear that both sides use this war as a front to make money, whether there's chaos or peace around in the world. And how I capitalize on all this, guys, I trade assets like Bitcoin, whether or not I go long or also
somebody's going to make money. They did a little something to ease the pain because guess what? They were getting some phone calls, man. People are behind the scenes asking about their money, doing this, doing that. And we know these oil tycoons do not play, and this is disrupting a lot of the stuff, but why not be transparent about it? But it's just like this. There's too much money behind the scenes right now, and people aren't talking about it.
It is amazing how lucky some traders have been with trading oil shorts right before major announcements from Trump. The Kobayashi letter reports that yesterday at 8:24 a.m., oil traders bought nearly $800 million worth of oil shorts. Just 21 minutes later, Iran's foreign minister said the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open. By 9:10 a.m. Eastern Time, oil prices had collapsed to $80 per barrel and hit their lowest level since March 10th.
I can only imagine. Great insider information on both sides. Come on, man. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. Meanwhile, we're still struggling over here to fill our gas tanks. The top 1%, the theories, starting to get in a little bit caught up into it, a little caught up into it. These guys all here to help one another. They use war as a front probably to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. This is crazy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget the hype button. Don't forget to comment where you're watching from. And I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe. Don't forget.